white supremacist propaganda is spreading. That's basically all caused by 45 blowers. Incidents of white supremacy propaganda distributed across the nation jumped by more than 120% between 2018 and last year, according to the Anti-Defamation League, making 2019 the second straight year that the circulation of the white supremacy propaganda material has more than doubled. And all this shit has been caused by by not just the white supremacy, but the Republicans and the 45 blowers. The Anti-Defamation League Center on Extremism reported 2,713 cases of circulated propaganda by white supremacy, including flyers, posters, and banners, compared with 1,214 cases in 2018. The printed propaganda distributed by white supremacist organizations includes material that directly spreads hate messages of discriminations against Jews and the lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender community and other minority communities, but also items with their prejudice obscured by a focus on gauzier pro-America imagery. The sharp rise in cases of white supremacist propaganda distribution last year follows a jump of more than 180% between 2017, the first year that the Anti-Defamation League tracked material distribution, and in 2018 alone, while 2019 saw cases of propaganda circulated on college campuses nearly doubled, encompassing 433 separate campuses in all but 7 states. Researchers who compiled the data found that 90% of campuses only saw 1 or 2 rounds of distribution. Oren Segal, director of the League's Center on Extremism, pointed to the prominence of more subtly based rhetoric in some of the white supremacist material emphasizing patriotism as a sign that the groups are attempting to make their hate more palatable for a 2020 audience. By emphasizing language about empowerment without some of the blatant racism and hatred, Segal said, white supremacists are employing a tactic to try to get their eyes on their ideals in a way that's cheap, and that brings it to a new generation of people who are learning how to even make sense of these messages. The propaganda incidents tracked for the Anti-Defamation League's report, set for release on Wednesday, encompasses 49 states and occurred most and where the white supremacy occurred at most was in California, Texas, New York, Massachusetts, New Jersey, Ohio, Virginia, Kentucky, Washington, and Florida. Last year, soaring cases of distributed propaganda also came as the Anti-Defamation League found out white supremacist groups were holding 20% fewer events than in 2018, preferring not to risk the exposure of pre-publicized events, according to the reports. That marks a shift from the notably visible public presence that white supremacy organizations mounted in 2017, culminating in that summer's Charlottesville, Virginia rally where a self-described white supremacist drove into a crowd of counter-protesters, killing one of the persons. About 2/3 of the total propaganda incidents in the new report were traced back to a single white supremacist group called Patriot Front, which the Anti-Defamation League describes as formed by disaffected members of the white supremacist organization Vanguard America after that Charlottesville rally. The Anti-Defamation League, founded in 1913, was to combat anti-Semitism as well as other bases, has tracked Patriot Front propaganda using messages such as "One Nation Against Invasion" and America First. The report, to be released Wednesday, found that Patriot Front played a major role in boosting circulation of white supremacist propaganda on campuses through a push that targeted colleges in the fall. Segal said that his group's research can equip community leaders with education that helps them push back white supremacist groups' messaging efforts, including distribution aimed at students. University administrators, Segal said, should speak out against white supremacist messaging drives, taking the opportunity to demonstrate their values and to reject messages of hate that may be appearing on their campuses. Several educational institutions where reports of white supremacist propaganda were reported in recent months did just that. After white supremacist material was reported on campus at Brigham Young University in November, the school tweeted that it stands firmly against any racism in any kind and is committed to promoting a culture of safety, kindness, respect, and love. The school went on to tweet a specific rejection of white supremacist sentiment as sinful by its owner, the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, without naming the identity of the group behind that propaganda. While some of the propaganda cataloged in the Anti-Defamation League's report uses indirect messaging in service of the bigoted agenda, other groups' activity is more openly threatening towards Jews and minority groups. The New Jersey European Heritage Association, a smaller white supremacist group founded in 2018, contains numerous anti-Semitic tropes and refers to Jews as destroyers in its most recent distributed flyer, according to the report. The Anti-Defamation League's online monitoring of propaganda distribution is distinct from its tracking of white supremacist events and attacks, and that tracking does not include undistributed materials such as graffiti. Yep. So if it says that so if these white supremacist groups claim that their motto is America First, and that means they're Trump blowers.